Hey there. I know you probably don't know me, but if you're like what most teenagers are like, you probably have the question of what is life really about? What is it all about? And honestly, you're not in bad company. I mean, we have entire philosophies. In fact, philosophy is the study of existence. So we have entire classes on trying to figure out what is life really about. Well, in the Bible, it kind of gives us what life is really about. And it talks about how in the beginning with Adam and Eve, they were there because God wanted a relationship with them. He loved them so much. He puts them in the garden. He has them tend to the garden and he loves them. He walks with them. He wants to have a relationship with them. Well, because Adam and Eve desired to be as good as God, if not better in their minds, they disobeyed God and therefore brought sin into the world. Romans tells us that as by one man sin entered into the world, well, then we also got the after effect of that, which was death. And so sin has come into the world. Well, that's easy for us to understand in the sense of if you look at your own life, you can understand that you're a sinner, that you've done bad things. I mean, nobody can say, oh, listen, I've lived perfectly and I've had no issues whatsoever. I've done nothing wrong. If you look at your life honestly, you would agree that you're a sinner, just like I would agree that I'm a sinner. So that's the bad news. The bad news is because of being sinners, we're sentenced to death, we're sentenced to eternal judgment, but Jesus Christ comes onto the picture, he comes into the scene, and he's going to take our place. Well, what makes Jesus special? Why couldn't I just die for somebody else's sins? Well, because we're sinners. Jesus Christ is born, he's God in the flesh, and he lives a perfect, sinless life that we could not live. And he dies on the cross, taking all of our sin and all of our yuckiness onto him, and he dies for us. Well, he didn't just die for us, because if he just died for us, and we really don't have that much of a difference from anybody else in the world, but Christ rises from the dead. He raises himself from the dead, showing that he has victory over death. So all the promises that he makes to us of we will be in heaven with him someday are true because we've seen him rise from the dead, because he has victory over death. So what is life really about? Life is about having a relationship with the one who's given you life. It's about having a relationship with Jesus Christ. And the Bible tells us, well, how do we get that relationship with him? Well, the Bible is going to tell us a 3 simple, easy step process. First is admitting that you're a sinner. Hopefully you're not having an issue with that, because I didn't. So hopefully you don't have an issue with that. So admit that you're a sinner. But then believing that Jesus Christ is God and he did what he said he did in his word. So seeing what he's done, what he said he's done, and saying, I believe that Jesus is God and that he has died on the cross for me. But then the third thing is calling out to Jesus and asking him to save you. You in your own words saying, God, you've died for me. You love me. I know I'm a sinner. I believe what Jesus Christ has done for me biblically, and I'm asking you to save me. What is life really about? Life is really about a relationship with the one who has given you life.